I received an email from Paul, and he had heard me speaking on my Coach Robb podcast show about why athletes utilize Coke both during and immediately after a race. I'm not here to advocate that the ingredients of Coca-Cola are healthy for you, but I do want to give a little bit of insight as to why you'll notice, like if you guys watch the Tour de France, you'll notice that when they come through a feed zone, they have that little food satchel that's wrapped around their neck. And you'll notice that they reach in and the first thing that they do is they grab a small can of cola. I want to explain why they're using cola during a race, and I also want to elaborate as to why you would use it after a race. Now again, please don't ostracize me here in the comments below saying that I'm advocating Coke as a healthy source for nutrition. That's not what I'm doing. I want you to understand why are the athletes hitting Coke during a race is because heat, humidity, stress, high heart rate will always suppress appetite. Your body's number one goal when it's put into those situations is to dissipate heat and not die of a heat stroke. So when you start to bring the heart rate up, core body temperature goes up, the stress of racing, the attacking, all the things that go on in a competitive environment, if you're looking at hierarchy of needs, the body's going to suppress appetite. And in doing so, that whole process gets shut down. But what happens if you're doing an event like a long bicycle race or a triathlon or a running race? You've got to have calories. You've only got about 60 to 80 minutes of stored energy, depending on your body size, when you start the race. Well, if your event is over an hour, hour and a half, you're going to have to be looking for outside sources. Now, here's where the Coca-Cola comes in. The Coca-Cola contains a product called phosphorus, or an ingredient rather, phosphorus. Phosphorus will reactivate the digestive enzymes inside the stomach, which will start to make you want to consume food again. Now, we could do an entire video on the idea that you can't be ingesting, like in the Tour de France, they're not digesting a baguette sandwich, and then immediately going and climbing Alpe d'Huez. They do the food zones based on where are they going to have, relatively speaking, the lowest the lowest active heart rate, which will allow these riders a chance to consume some food, not regurgitate it back up. Because unfortunately, if the body is exposed to a lot of heat and humidity and stress, and you put something too complex in your belly, it's going to definitely send it right back up. You're either going to end up with diarrhea or you're going to end up vomiting. The body will find a way to purge itself when it doesn't need or want it. So this is kind of a little finite science behind the scenes. During the race, you're trying to reactivate the digestive enzymes, and ironically, when you're done with the race, Coca-Cola, once again, will re-establish hunger by reactivating the digestive enzymes in your belly. You will also get a good concentration of sugars and caffeine, which helps with the absorption. So caffeine is usually associated with mental focus, but the idea is that Coca-Cola really does help. Those muscles are like a sponge. It's looking for simple sugar to come in. Again, I'm not here to argue that the ingredients of a Coca-Cola are considered healthy. I'm just explaining to you why you'll see Coca-Cola at aid stations in a triathlon or a marathon. You will see small cans of cola being ingested during the Tour de France. You'll see them at the finish line of almost all endurance events. So I'm not here as an advocate for Coca-Cola. I'm here to let you know why people are using it. If you struggle with feeling nauseous during a race and you're looking for a way to possibly get more food during the race, you've got to bring the heart rate down. There's an inverse relationship between food complexity and intensity. I'm just here to talk today about the question that came up associated with Coca-Cola and how it's utilized during and after and why. Thank you so much for the question. If you happen to have one, please do me a favor, send it to me, contact@coachrobb.com. Here on Coach Robb Beam's YouTube channel, every morning we're launching a new video, so please make sure that you subscribe and turn on the notifications. Thank you as always for watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.